from NEC, but the Tiger just for bearing.
4060?
487.
Yeah.
So for the minibar,
Yeah.
even they,
How do you implement the
I want to
minibar?
ask, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Explain to me. Okay. Now you have extension for the SIP, right?
Yeah.
What they will do that means through the minibar is coming.
The
We will
minibar,
give
there will
the-
be a menu like voicemail.
Yeah.
Welcome to the minibar. What do you need to order or whatever it will be. It will be their part because they have done the same. We have just provided them a SIP extension.
You have to give this is my SIP extension for
Yeah.
the minibar.
And this is the password and this is the SIP extension. This is what we have to do.
Uh-huh.
For the voicemail as well, for the SIP minibar and whatever, they have 3-4 other menus, I believe. Service menus and whatever. All we have given only SIP extension. But since the voicemail is, they are doing, I believe they have to do something because the voicemail is the part of the Tiger in my case. So you have to ask Khalid what you have to do. Because there is only menu behind this.
If you are configuring the voicemail, you have to responsible for
It
the
is
voicemail.
inside the voicemail.
Inside the voicemail.
Yeah. This is what I believe.
Yeah. Your hotel is Tiger call accounting and voicemail is done by Tiger, right?
Yeah.
My case also same. Then I can.
And
fix
you
the
are
line.
giving the fix?
Yes.
Which operator you are giving?
Now we are giving to the
السلام
normal
عليكم.
analog line.
معتز
This is
بحكي
explain to
مع
me.
هون مع عبد الله
Now
بجنبي.
it's-
هي اللي صاير انه هو لانه الفويس ميل من جهه التايجر هي تعتمد على الفويس
Support
ميل.
in the
هي
version
جست
4.
يعني
Your one is
بروجرام
version 2,
وان
right?
سيب اكستنشن.
No, I believe
سيب اكستنشن.
I am using
واعطاهم
password.
رقم السيب اكستنشن وهم يدخلوه على الفويس ميل.
Not PWA.
في حالتنا هسه بس
Anyway,
حالنا
Version 4 for what? For
انه
System.
system, SP95.
وان سيب
But
اكستنشن.
actually I need to connect, but still
واعتقد
they not
انه لازم
ability to see.
يدخلوا على
I have
الفويس
updated
ميل.
the latest.
شايف
What
عندنا
is
الفويس
the
ميل
latest?
95.
belong to us يعني
Last week.
مش زي عندهم للتايجر. داخل الفويس ميل
The latest at that time I have
هسه بس
updated.
يخدع كل حال برجع بسأله مرة
Maybe
ثانية.
version 4, I don't know. I can
Example.
see here in the IDE portal.
Can I show you my plan?
And this is the SIP extension. You are not connected to the telephone. Just you are.
No, you have to program there. I don't know how we have to do in, you have 4320 I believe VM.
Excuse me.
Voice.
Voicemail, yes.
48700.
This is my plan. SIP carrier. It's coming to that SIP gateway. Okay. And connected to my switch. Right. 95 is here. Right.
You have to dual server?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Dual CPU.
CPU.
One system. Dual CPU.
That's why you have to make it to,
Yes.
to show that we are providing redundancy.
Yes. Because they asked it. Now this is the SIP gateway for the Mobicall. This is Mobicall and this is virtual machine for the Tiger and the voicemail and mobile call. Now this is the analog media converter, right?
Yeah. From where you get it? NEC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
good. That's
We have a 8 cards there. They have a 32 something stack ports.
From NEC of this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This is NEC MC8 card. MC8.
NCA.
Yeah, analog ports, right? We connected to this one, then we are connected to the fax machine. My question is fax is supported by through this analog. Phone is working. I tested already. Normal phone is fine. I configured everything.
But for the analog, you have to test with the option which is available in your remote. In my case, T.38 was not working.
Now he is telling us T.38 is working with the version 4.
But you know, he
I
didn't
asked
tell
him
me,
to
but
explain, okay. In later we will discuss.
I tried it by myself, but it
This
was
is
not
the
working. Then I used
NEC
password.
phones. This is the guest phone.
But
and we are
since this is analog converter of NEC, maybe you don't need even
media converters. Any other
any
third-party
other-
converters?
Yeah, third party. If this is NEC, maybe it will work.
Yeah, that's what my question.
Yeah.
First day also I asked same question because we gave the proposal through the NEC.
Yeah.
Now we need to any other devices. This is difficult to explain to them.
Yeah. I believe it will work. Why can't you upgrade your SP9500 to V4 or
Why?
this is a firmware only, right?
Yeah, firmware only.
You can upgrade your SP9500 if there is some problem.
Yes, because of that now is I received the license before 1 year, right? It's version 2. Now version 4. Last year we received the version 5 also. All the
in 1
new
year, I
features.
believe you you can upgrade, right? Within 1 year.
I don't know. Khalid told me you have to ask from Osama.
Because in case of BCT operator, they are saying you can upgrade. You can ask.
This is the Park Car project.
You
No,
have like this, send to me or like this.
no problem. I will give you.
Yeah, please.
I need to collect the details from
Yes.
all the people. We can
Yeah,
share it. No
please.
problem.
This is
Anytime.
AutoCAD, huh?
Yes.
Keep in touch also.
No problem. Because of that, they asked from me high level design and low level design. I asked from you what you want. Then I will give the block diagram. They are refused 7 times.
We can make this
Then
in
after
AutoCAD,
I
huh?
met the person, the client. Then I asked him what you want. Can you show me the example what you want? Then he showed the MITEL system. This is their low level design. My project manager, he don't have a good idea about the PBX. He have idea about the cabling and other installation part. He told me, no, we have to give low level design mean configuration part. I said, how I can do the configuration part for them? Now we don't know the concept of what are the things going to be installed, right? The zip connection. We don't know what is the part, right? We have to give the proper information for the later stage. Then I have to ask from them, show me your proposal, show me your example. Then he gave me. Then after that I will adapt my things. This is the BCT operators. This is the admin staff. This is the guest room and lobby phones like that. This you have idea about Mobicall? No. This Mobicall, all the alarms receiving the.
You are integrating also with the fire alarm, huh?
Yeah, this is the Mobicall functions. If fire is there, they will give the alarm from the core switch to my system. I can give voice message, email, phone call.
You enable the paging as well?
Yeah.
Here when you, did you implement that business connect, yeah?
Still,
No, not
I
yet.
have to go. I have asked from
Uh,
my engineer he said, when you answer from here the call, it's automatically open here.
Yeah, of course, it should be here.
Should be?
Yeah, it should be.
The customer is
No.
absent. He
Sorry,
didn't
what
want
did
this.
you say?
When you answer the call, it's coming from here.
Here,
This is open also automatically.
yes. You have to double click and it will open here.
But
You cannot,
That means
they cannot
one
direct
doesn't
us.
have a 2 extension, one soft phone and one hard phone.
Yeah, if you have the short phone, I don't know because Khalid can answer better than me. But I know in the case of NEC terminal, you have to answer it from the NEC terminal.
Which one?
That's quite great.
Yeah.
This is my.
بنحكي عن كنت عن البزنس انه لما تجابوا المكالمه من الكمبيوتر بيفتح اوتوماتيك الهارد فون مش عاجبهم لك ليش
لا
بفتح هذا
كيف؟
لا ما انا احنا قاعدين بنفكر بطريقه بحكيت لمعتز شو تعمل نلغي الهارد فون ونحط سوفت فون على نفس ال
الفكرة كلها completely wrong. It's completely wrong approach. Because what's BCT?
مشان يعمل كيو يعني
What's based on which protocol with NEC 95? It's an OAI, right? OAI is CTI. I give in my BCT client OAI call control component. You have to study the training of BCT on BusinessNet of the operator. So you will understand why it's doing it this way. Just to send the customer so that it's open, it's wrong. Completely wrong. You have to practice the behavior of BCT with OAI. Then you will find the really proper way to use it. If you will find the really proper way to use it, the customer will like that it's open in the computer.
If we have soft phone,
It's okay, but do you think that the customer will agree with 2 phones?
No.
Two clients in the same PC?
no, if it is connected with the headphone is connected with the same PC, you can.
I mean 2 clients.
Two
There will be a
clients.
soft phone and the BCT client.
No,
هو حط على هذا
even they are using the hard phone in the same way, but they have to pick the hard phone. But in that case, the headphone will be connected to the.
Terminal here in the BCT case is looks like a headphone only.
Yeah,
It's isolated from the application.
yeah.
There you will have 2 applications.
I know, I understand. But if we have a short phone, if we double click on the PC operator, the call will come on the short phone, right?
Yes, that's true. But
And in the
again,
same PC,
That's it.
and he will click and he will answer.
That's correct. But with two client, Abdullah.
Yeah, even to client.
Even if two client, the customer will agree. No problem. I don't like the idea.
But I believe that in the failover scenario, the VC, then there will be maybe a problem. In
No,
the,
there is no problem at all. So
No.
positive because the SB35 350 can do as a detail. Have a multiple line average, operation, multiple keys, failover keys, everything. But still logical. I think it's better if you do the. I cannot answer all the questions if you don't get the certificate of BCT. Really, because you are talking about software based solution. Software based solution, a lot of options. Really, you cannot count them.
did we have
For the
any
call
short
handling.
phone? Any short phone is there?
Yeah, SB350. And in this training, Abdullah, I add additional slide which talking about the beauty of SB350. In your training, there was a old version of SB350. Now we have a different version.
This is open standard or only with compatible?
NEC set. NEC set again.
Cisco can give.
We have an open standard NEC like MLC, and we have ST50. ST500. I will show you the one. It's a complete UC solution.
I will do the backup. Can see all the parts. What I do.
Have all the functionality that you have in your UCC system. I will show you now. I think it's better in all of your cases because we hardly sell nowadays attendant console.
في شغلة we bought for them wireless headset. To open the headset, you have first to press the and to answer from the phone, hard phone.
Not correct.
Automatically.
It should be answered from the key. You should enable your headset key. Then the call will through the BCT operator will just click, it's answered, and you can pick up the call without press any keys. You will, for answering the call, you will not use more than the mouse. That's the point and the beauty of BCT.
Easy to access.
Yes. Abdullah already tried for some limitation, the customer network, that he would like to maximize the usage of failover. That means he don't have a BCT up and running now, so he want to make the customer operation with the minimum of failover. How many problems you face?
Oh, too many. And
Yeah.
one month and customer was quite a on the NEC.
Yeah. Here's Abdullah the SB350. This is the new GUI. This is the new GUI of SB350.
This Mr. Zahid was telling me regarding this
And
SP3.
this is the standard telephony feature that we have. We have collaboration, video conferencing, file transfer, multi-point, whiteboarding, marker, chatting. All of these are built-in features. And it's not require any special programming in the 95 side.
Only extension.
Only now normal IB detail. And it looks like this terminal. It looks like an IB phone inside your PC.
Also no license for
You need a
SP,
license.
need license.
Why?
the IP
IB license.
license.
One client license.
This is what you need for the third party SIP phone
No.
as well.
No.
It's for NEC phone.
NEC.
And don't forget Abdullah. in
The
90
license we require for the third party as well, right?
The license, yeah, Abdullah.
The same license for the NEC and the
Yes.
same for the license for the NEC.
How about
Per
UCC
seat you can say.
client?
Hmm?
UCC.
UCC client is based on UCC server. And UCC server looks like a mobility, but it's a BC base. It's a completely different server which doing the standard set of SB350 is an NEC terminal. That means you have a complete D-term, DT700,
Like a
800 on your phone, in your disk.
Like it's like
And also could have
it's like
VPN connectivity, code history, 8-way data conferencing, voice conferencing, all of these features are
Something that is sometimes customer prefer UCC and
because this kind of customer, want to integrate with the BCT. So they want to integrate the BCT client and UCC client in one client.
not just this reason, because now it seems that UCC has a web base.
It's a web base as well, and BCT is web base.
But we should install this terminal.
I'm talking about BCT and UCC. SP350 is a D terminal. It's an NEC IB phone.
I know. We should install it on each piece.
Yes.
Each piece, yes.
And you can go for deployment with Microsoft policy. Right? And you can integrate again your policy with BCT as well. But the users who go for UCC I really want to use the soft phone inside the BCT. But again, they have to pay for the UCC server. This, at least, you can utilize your D term. It's like acting like a D term again, not a standard SIP term. And you can see collaboration is there. Video conferencing that you like in 3C is there. Video conferencing and application sharing, desktop sharing, chatting, instant messaging, all of this supported. It's not requiring a special configuration 95. This is how it looks like. And you can go with the toolbar like this. And this is the behavior. You can share your document. You can file transfer. You can integrate it with this phone. During the training that we attended, Abdullah, the old version was there. And the old version was, was committed for US Army. We will not change it. Once the commitment over, we come up with a new version.
هل سألته عن ميني بار عامل اكستنشن هو سيب اكستنشن مش روت ولا شيء لأنه احنا ما فيش في عندنا أصلا سي او
ايش هو ميني بار؟ ميني بار سيرفيس ميد اي دي
ها؟
ميد اي دي
هو عامل اكستنشن ومعطيه للطرف الثالث لأنه الفويس ميل من عندهم بي ام اس احنا الفويس ميل من عندنا لازم نعمل عليه
بتعمل على اليو انفورسمنت 30 معناها بتعمله على اليو انفورسمنت 30 انت قصدك عشان الميني بار سيرفيس
بنعطيهم خدمة البي ام اس يدخلوا
بتبرمجها على اليو انفورسمنت 30
على
اليو انفورسمنت 30
هناك في مكان يعني
طبعا
هو السيب اكستنشن اللي بتعينه
ده السب يعني المسجات اللي بدك اياها انت كعابر بي ام اس صح؟ بس مسجات بي ام اس اليو انفورسمنت 30 انتجريتد مع البي ام اس استفاد منه مباشره شو اليو
هم بدون شو اللي بيصير ما هو لما يطلع على الغرفه when the cleaner in the room he will dial number هو كان بيسأل عن الميني بار بس he will dial the number this number will manipulate by the PMS
it will be assigned in the voicemail box
This number
to have this features to enable this option to assign like a voicemail box for mini bar بدي ارجع الدوكيومنتيشن تبعت الهوسبيتاليتي على اليوم انفورسمنت او احضر هذا التريننج. There is a good course for you enforcement 3.0.
But from minibar, how they will read message? The same like a voice message?
It's a voicemail because in your case, Abdullah, they are using inline, and after that they are using NEC voicemail.
Yeah.
Well, this NEC voicemail can act better than Tiger and even Abdullah. Here is the unified messaging training. By the way, it's a free of charge training. Here is the administration training. You can attend this. There are a lot of things talking about maid services.
Is it better to use this solution or BCT for
Voicemail. Depend on the capacity. This is really dedicated solution for voicemail. And the licenses here is very easy. You license the UM4730 and that's it. There's no voicemail box license. You can go up to 4,000, up to 64,000 user with the UM4730.
فويس ميل من عندنا البيت سيرفيس داخل الفويس مسجنج كان
new project, someone
داخل
offered
الفويس مسجنج موجودة على الترين
I think some already offer 870. نظم
مسويين موجود داخل الفويس ماشين داخل النتورك
also is good. This is
وبنعمل انتجريشن مع التي ام اس.
Okay. Any question? Any question till now? Is it clear what we discussed about the MGSIP? Now we are talking about the SIP options. That means the parameters that we discussed now are related for how you will utilize your SIP carrier. It's mainly your SIP profile. First of all, you have to define SIP server. The SIP server where you are going to register, to whom you are going to talk with. This is the SIP server of your carrier. Also, you have to sign here your SIP board and which kind of connectivity RFC you are using. Is it a loose or a SIP? Next, we'll talk about the loose and the SIP. Now, you are using RTB board, RFC 3581 or not? Domain name, mainly we make the domain name based on the carrier requirements. Some carriers are really dependent on the domain name. But for example, if I want to connect to Grandstream, no need. They don't assign a domain name. They don't restrict to have a domain name. So if you are connected to a carrier, the carrier will say, no, I need to see your domain name. Also, for some carrier, you have to add a separate registrar that to whom I will go to register with this username and password. So here is your SIP invitation messages, and here your registrar for where you are going to register and put your username and password. Here you are setting also your key number, the pilot number that you by default will get it. And also here you can set the SIP authentication, your user ID and password that the carrier gives to you.
This is the key number which will appear in our URL or...
No, it's by default. This is your call ID field.
It should be there.
No, it's default. Some carriers don't like the idea of the call ID field. They simply, we are reading from the BSS ID, or we read it from the user info, we read it from the user URI, limit. But the default behavior of 95 to show the call ID via the key number. The default behavior. It should,
Any number we can.
yes. If the carrier.
If carrier allows.
If carrier allows, that's also true. Sometimes the carrier even said don't allow the call. Even if they put any number, don't allow the call. It's very important. That's how there's nothing very important. Everything is important this year. So clear that in most of the scenarios you use SIP server without registrar. If you are connected to the carrier via BSTN or via internet, you need to have a registrar and username and password. Clear? Clear? Now about the RFC connection method, which is restrict or loose. In the version 2543, which is the old SIP version, I think the concept was SIP version 1. SIP version, the initial RFCs of of SIP, request URI is always overwritten. That means, if I have this call scenario, I have invitation from A to B, B to C, C to D. So every time I have invitation from here to there, I have to change the invitation for whom. So it's like very restrict. Every time I create a new invitation message for a multiple hop, I have to change my header or my invitation message. But in the louse restrict, I just start from A to D directly. So the other guys will just bypass me. And this loose routing are used with RFC 3261, which is the latest one. Sometimes where you need to use restrict routing, if you have, for example, dispatcher for radio major. These guys are really restricted. They don't like to have any kind of SIP messages that lose the routing of the invite messages. They simply reject.
So you do it with the carrier, it is loose routing.
You have to ask this question to the carrier. You have to ask this question. You cannot say, yeah, it's... Even some European carriers, they use the restrict routing. They are very high-end technology carrier, but they still use the restrict routing. It's a little bit old technology, but they like it. So they have to ask the same question to the carrier.
Strict means strict.
Every time you are going from hop to hop, you have to send a new invitation message.
User is strict.
Yeah. But loose, just send the same invitation from each and every hop. I don't want to see, I'm going to D.
mean the security point of view, the upper strict is good.
But also, in the invite with loose restrict Abdullah, you can send multiple invitations. That means you can put multiple contents there. I already pass B and C here and verify that already pass B and C, then I go to D. All the protocol, which is RFC 2543, does not support this. Some support only a single invitation contents. That's why. Now you have to set any question about the loose and restrict? Can set also your privacy button. Privacy button. How you want to display or secure your name number display over a SIP trunk. Normally we use name display as a privacy button. So something that internal, the guys outside in the internet, they cannot understand what this name is for. I can name my carrier as XYZ, and XYZ will be my domain name as a privacy button. Or I can change it for anonymous, if I just disable my privacy button, or I can send my user info, or I can send the info with brackets. That means anonymous as a SIP info and additional my number as a user URI. The privacy button of remote ID, that means I have to be verified by someone else, is only supported in Japan because it's not used anywhere except Japan. Normally I set the privacy button to 0. And after that, after I register my SIP trunk, I start to change. Make sure maybe the carrier don't like that I send anonymous. Maybe the carrier don't like that I send my caller ID as anonymous. Or if this anonymous, I just change it to Dubai police, they will not allow me. Yeah.
Inside the privacy 0, then we can make change. When we select 0,
yes. Privacy.
there's a choices I can select this.
And also you can go for RFC 3325, which is privacy button 2. Privacy button 1 is not supported or not available for our region. Privacy button number 2, which is RFC 3325. That means I want to restrict my CLI. I want to put in my display field and user info field and the hosted info field is all anonymous in order to maximize my security. But in the be asserted ID field, I have additional field in the same SIP message called be asserted ID. I can put my name. I can put any number. If you remember what we discussed, the ITSI addressing, he was making a surgery for the setup message. In this kind of surgery, the same, via command, via profile. In my understanding, you cannot ask Nortel and Cisco to have the same privacy button. That's why basically you cannot fulfill multiple carrier with single MGSIP. This is one of the reasons. You find multiple reasons. Every time you have to be careful. For example, SV91, for example, or SV93 don't support BSNet ID component. You cannot send BSNet ID from 95, 91. But if you connect with Asterix, with Cisco, with IC3000 95, you can send your BSNet ID. That means if I put in my privacy button 2 that I'm using BSNet ID or be preferred ID, it may reject it because of this field. Or I will see my number with anonymous field. My number as a number and my name will be anonymous because the other side don't understand the BSNet ID. And BSNet ID is based on 3325. It's a very big RFC, have a lot of information, a lot of possibility, but we support only BSNet ID between the trusted proxies that I'm putting through firewall, and this firewall are trusted for me, so I can send my BSNet ID field, or I can send my preferred ID as a user agent. User agent is again another field. I can send the display field, user info field, host field, or BSNet ID, or user agent field. Many other fields. And they have to be very careful while you design this. And the carrier should tell you in advance which field he would like to receive the caller information. Clear? I know this may be little bit new, and all of this you should know from the SIP course. You should do by yourself, SIP course. You should study SIP and RFCs by yourself. I'm not going to teach you everything is SIP, because SIP requires at least 3 days. Talking about only SIP as a concept. I mean SIP station, SIP trunk, and many other implementations of SIP. Here, just to summarize and make it easy for you,